worked out very well for me. I ended up being able to actually care for some family members who were sick at the time. And then I ended up going to graduate school at the Catholic University of America in D.C. for philosophy. So I ended up doing some stuff for my licentiate or my master's, my ecclesiastical master's, related to our knowledge of the natural law, the natural moral law, history, and kind of the development of our cognition of the moral law, mostly in the thought of the French Catholic thinker Jacques Maritain. And then I did, typical dissertation, on 14th century figure doing something with the metaphysics of logic. Gervais Natalis was his name. You do your dissertation, you deposit it. Some people, that's all they do for the rest of their life. I put it behind me. I wrote an article to summarize it, put it behind myself, and I was done. I think you appreciate this. I was done with academia. I don't even know if I ever told you that when I was...
No, I don't remember that, actually.
Yeah, I really was. I didn't know what I was going to do next. I was kind of doing some adjuncting, just the self-enclosed world of academia. I just thought, I don't want to do this. I struggle with this to this day, actually. There's just a kind of self-referentiality and narcissism.
Do you think it's more of the academic culture, or do you think it's kind of, that is the academic versus lay or versus the non-academic culture? Or do you think how would you specify that a little bit? Because I've got a brother that's a, PhD professor for State University, and I've talked many times about, leaving. My brother's like, for the love of God, please don't go into academia. He can't stand half of it, loves half of it, can't stand the other half of it. What is your take in particular on this?
Yeah, and I can't, of course, he's got the experience of sort of what a normal undergraduate program is like. I've actually never taught in one, not even as an adjunct. I taught in a night school program that was for non-traditional students back then. So I don't have the kind of hatred of it for sort of the institutional problems, what everyone might think about, like education's going to hell in a handbasket or something like that. People would say, people aren't devoted to the life of truth or something. I don't have that kind of anger at academia, or even the politics of higher ed as it becomes just so distorted because of kind of federal policy in America. Mm-hmm. I actually don't like I don't feel at home, first of all, among those who would have been raised desiring to be a professor. Mm-hmm. I mean, I probably in some ways as a kid, because I was a nerdy kid, I would have, maybe sort of thought of myself that way, but I came from a really blue collar background, blue collar family, blue collar area. I still live in my home area, basically. I mean, it's just, no one cares at my parish that I'm a professor, and it's probably better for my soul. There's another sense in which, too, professors frustrate me because they kind of are perpetually in graduate school.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're not picking on me with my 3 graduate degrees, are you?
Well, you're not in graduate school in your mind, though. I mean, you do stuff, sir. You do stuff.
Yeah, I work in the field, and I